Hello and welcome. I'm Saeed from StoryPlanet.net. Dive right into the essence of the most captivating books without reading them cover to cover. Whether you're on the go, at the gym, or just relaxing at home, we offer you a unique and enriching listening experience. Today, we are exploring the book Flat Earth News, a creation by Nick Davies. For those dreaming of a career as a world-traveling journalist, Flat Earth News, 2008, is an eye-opener. Today's journalists face tremendous pressure from profit-driven corporate media outlets. This summary explains why newsrooms often recycle stories and why it is increasingly simple for PR professionals to influence the news. Before we delve into these revelations, it's interesting to note that investigative journalist Nick Davies, author of 4 books, has been employed by renowned English newspapers, including The Guardian. He produces TV documentaries and has been honored with awards such as Journalist of the Year, Reporter of the Year, and Feature Writer of the Year in British press ceremonies. With 6 key ideas to unveil, brace yourself for a deep dive into this captivating book on StoryPlanet.net. To start, opportunity for a behind-the-scenes look at the media industry. The text discusses how news selection is influenced by corporate interests rather than relevance. It highlights the impact of media ownership on news content and explains the shift towards prioritizing popular stories over important ones. It also mentions the implications of corporate ownership on journalism and news consumption. Key idea number 1. Journalists face pressure to produce stories quickly, leading to a lack of fact-checking and source verification. Traditional image of journalists rushing to events and investigating has changed. Many journalists now rely on wire agencies or press releases for stories. Research found that 60% of stories in respected British media outlets echoed previous reports. National media corporations cutting costs led to fewer journalists conducting personal research and decreased regional reporters. Journalists now face pressure to produce numerous stories daily, limiting their ability to conduct in-depth investigations or interview witnesses. Cutbacks have made it challenging for journalists to explore stories on the ground. Key idea number 2. Media often depend on wire agencies, which may not always provide objective or reliable information. Journalists facing rejection of a story pitch may turn to wire agencies for opportunity. Despite outlets' confidence in wire agency accuracy, there are limitations due to lack of thorough investigation and verification. Agencies like AP and Reuters heavily influence global news, but their coverage heavily relies on minimal staff and potentially biased sources like press releases. This reliance can result in copying of content among news agencies. Wire agency journalists often start their day rehashing press releases, limiting confirmation of information with sources. Key idea number 3. Media prioritizes popularity over truthful and relevant reporting. Traditional media outlets prioritize attracting readers through sensational and emotionally appealing stories rather than focusing on crucial issues or informing the public. This results in the coverage of topics like celebrity scandals over important news, leading to a disconnect between popular content and essential information. The media's tendency to prioritize popularity over truth has even influenced journalists to adapt their reporting to fit public opinion, as seen in coverage of events like military intervention in Iraq. Key idea number 4. News agencies prioritize inexpensive stories and strive for impartiality to minimize risks. Western journalists may still face limitations on expressing opinions due to corporate influences. Media outlets often avoid contentious stories to prevent backlash and lawsuits. Publishers aim to present both sides of a story to avoid accusations of bias. Journalists tend to rely on official sources to mitigate legal risks. Additionally, media outlets prioritize covering stories that are easier to report on rather than focusing solely on relevancy. This was evident in the differing coverage of Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Stanley in 2005, with significantly more attention given to Katrina due to the ease of coverage. Key idea number 5. Public relations specialists create content that the media find compelling and readily share. Fake interviews are often staged by PR agencies to influence the media, with questions tailored to promote a specific narrative. News events, such as press conferences, can be manufactured to craft a desired image or message. PR agencies also create baseless news, employ fake experts, and use tactics like releasing information on Sundays to ensure media coverage. Media outlets frequently publish PR material without fact-checking, resulting in biased or inaccurate reporting. Non-independent experts, like nutritionist Susan Jebb, may have ties to the companies they endorse. This manipulation of news is widespread, with over half of UK news articles featuring PR material. The private sector is not the only source of news spin. Key idea number 6. Intelligence agencies manipulate the media to serve their agenda. During World War II and the Cold War, the CIA heavily influenced media by placing agents in news outlets worldwide, manipulating stories to shape public opinion. This manipulation extended beyond the Cold War era, with the CIA still exerting control over various media outlets globally, including major publications. Falsified information and propaganda were used to influence public perception, highlighting the need for caution when consuming media. In conclusion, media corporations prioritize profit over quality reporting, leaving room for manipulation. To determine if a story has been independently investigated, compare versions from reputable sources. Many outlets simply modify wire agency stories. The book suggests checking Reuters or Associated Press for verification. Feedback on the content is welcomed via email. Further reading recommendation: Hack Attack by Nick Davies, covering the 2011 phone hacking scandal involving Rupert Murdoch's News of the World. Thank you for listening to this summary. If you enjoyed this exploration, we invite you to discover other fascinating books on storyplanet.net. Don't wait any longer. A multitude of books, stories, and knowledge await you there. See you soon on storyplanet.net.